So I'm Tom. I'm nearly 2 years sober, a 15-year addiction.
I'm Leroy. I'm in recovery as well from active addiction. David, suffer from mental health, anxiety, and a recovering addict.
I'm Simone, and I will be interviewing the boys today, and we'll be looking at sort of their journey, how their addiction started, and see what key messages we can take away from today. Okay, so we ready to start?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so who wants to tell me about how they first got into drugs?
I'll start.
Go on then, Tom.
Probably at the age of 14, nearly 15. That's when I first tried it. It became kind of recreational, enjoyable at the time. Certain friends. Then just escalated from there, to be honest, you know.
What drugs were you using?
Started smoking, obviously, weed, and then it was cocaine, yeah.
And was there anything that particularly led you to taking drugs at that particular time in your life?
There's nothing that made me take it. I was intrigued probably at the time. Probably the weed was a kind of a gateway, I'd say. I believe so. At the time, it was actually fun and enjoyable. But as time moves on, it becomes less and less, you know. So.
What do you think? So obviously you spoke about recreational use, and a lot of teenagers when we're growing up and stuff, we experiment, don't we, with drugs and things like that. What would you say was the difference for you? How come it became an addiction rather than a recreational thing?
The addiction side of things, I'm going to be honest, I started selling it, so I had it in abundance. Can I say that on there?
Say whatever you like.
Yeah, so I had it around me, you know, so that it's become a norm. It was more or less free. So then my taking become more and more parties, and yeah, it just escalated from there.
How much were you using a day? How many?
It's hard to say. I can't really go back to them times, but as I got into my early 20s, I was doing a hell of a lot. Yeah. Ounce a night, some nights. Looking at my partner about dead in bed, you know. It was rough times.
What would you say the impact was on your own mental health and yourself at the time and the people around you?
Yeah, it's massive, you know. Like, I found obviously my circle was massive then when I first started taking the cocaine. But as the years went on, my circle got smaller and smaller through my own actions. I become more weirder and unstable within myself. More later on, but I've seen the change, you know. What was the question again?
That was it. I was saying what kind of things obviously made happen, like, and what made you realise that it was becoming a problem?
Well, yeah, it was just a regular occurrence, you know. Just wait for the weekend, and then it weren't just the weekend, it was weekdays, you know, not going work, and it just become a massive issue.
You mentioned as well that your social circle and stuff just started getting smaller. Is that because of the effects of the drugs?
Yeah, most certainly, yeah. I weren't a pleasure to be around by the end of it, you know. I'm talking more early stages.
Yeah.
It started happening then, but as time progressed, I was unstable, man. I weren't a pleasure to be around. My energy was shit. I was a shell of a human being. I had nothing in there to give, you know.
If I'd met you back then, how would I have known that you were under the influence of drugs?
I was just a crazy lunatic, man.
Yeah. Did you get in trouble a lot?
Loads of trouble. Yeah.
So what was the turning point for you when you thought, right, I've had enough of this?
Should I be honest? I ended up stabbing 2 people. This was so my addiction was 15 years, so I only changed, the turning point was 3 years ago. That's when I was unstable. But I knew this myself. I sensed it, you know. Yeah. Every time I'd take the drugs, I'd go straight into pure regret because I just knew where it would take me. I had no power over it. And leading up to it, that's what happened. And that changed my life.
And what was the first thing you did to get help that you needed?
I did go to Turning Point in the crisis team.
Yeah.
At them times there. They helped, but it was solely me, you know. Yeah. Through my journey, I went to the AA meetings, Cocaine Anonymous, which were positive, but didn't really serve me at the time. I was too lost in my own actions, you know. But I just found the strength with myself, you know.
And did you ever have a mental health diagnosis? Did it triggered any long-term
effects? No, to be honest, I went to doctors in the times of my addiction, thinking I was depressed, but coming out the back end of my addiction, I went to see what it was that palmed me off for antidepressants, which made my addiction worse. made me even more number. You know? And that was a lead up to that offence, you know. I weren't right, and then I was on them. But when I come out of it, I was never depressed. It was the drugs that was making me feel like that, you know. I have suffered from depression and anxiety, I know that myself, even being out of addiction. But at them times there, my mood and the way I was feeling wasn't depression, it was the drugs.
Were you into fitness before?
I was. I trained the whole way through my addiction, you know. I did train, since the days of when I started religiously.
What was it about the running? I found running really hard. I hate it. What was it that you thought?
Man, I've got loads to speak about running, man. You know?
Escaping your demons.
Yeah, it's not like you fucking hell.
Is it a feeling it gives you?
Is
it that freedom?
It releases endorphins and all that. It was like I turned one addiction to another addiction. This addiction was positive, you know, and over time it just made me feel better, you know, and slowly the thoughts of using or drinking and whatever else was taken up with getting out and running and movement. And I stand by movement is medicine.
Yeah.
And like that's what's sincerely helped me become who I am today.
Yeah, and I think it's like really inspirational watching your videos and stuff like that. And I'm even contemplating having to go in the cold water. Do you want to tell us about your cold water?
Yeah, the cold water, man. I'm very grateful for that. That's I just want to bounce back to the running. I'm sorry, but it's just ingrained massive discipline in myself, you know. Because when you get into the endurance side of things and you're out, like, say, for 10 hours at a time, it's you against you, you know, your mind. You're taking back the control of your mind. And that's where I found the power to be where I am now. And also with the water, the cold water, you know, you're taking back the power because it's easy enough. You might say, get out, don't go in. Yeah. But you get in, you take the power, man, you hold it. And it's played a massive part. Yeah.
And I can see it, like, I've noticed from, like, obviously since I've been working with you, that you do push yourself to, like, your limits. You do things that people don't want to do. Like, you get up early and train. You obviously go running and run, and then you do the cold water things.
Yeah, it's just discipline, you know. Just keep the discipline locked in because it keeps me on track, you know, massively.
So, if you were going to give someone one piece of advice about how to overcome their addiction, what would it be?
Well, I'd say, like, exercise isn't the answer for everything, but it certainly makes you feel better, you know. And if you can just take them small steps to make yourself feel better in the slightest ways, them small wins every day turn into a big win, you know? Yeah. And that certainly happens, and it's happened for me, you know?
Yeah, no, that's really, thank you ever so much.
Yeah, nice one.
Any questions from you two to Tom?
No.
No? No, that was really good.
Just love movement, it's medicine, man.
Yeah, we love that you're doing that.
It is. Stay stagnant, you don't grow.
Yeah. No, we really love having you with us.
Nice one.
Yeah. Okay, who wants to talk next about their sort of experience with...
Rest from that. I think for me, I love the excitement, the risk taking. That's kind of what I found. You know, I got a lot of taking risk, and I was always the guy that would take it to the extreme. You know, especially with the alcohol, it'd be me that would be on the floor, being sick or needing to be carried out of the party. It just kind of progressed from there.
What was the underlying? Do you think there's anything underlying why you sort of had that more addictive personality when it came to the drug use?
I think growing up in my environment wasn't healthy. There was a lot of racial abuse. I kind of grew up in the 70s. It was treated really bad. And I was quite angry at a young age. I think due to that stuff and due to other personal stuff as well. And I just think that was my outlet. You know, I was able to feel okay and be a part of something. I fitted in somewhere. I do now today. I got diagnosed with ADHD about 4 years ago, and I'm severe dyslexic as well. So
bit of masking, would you say, potentially?
It could be. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it could be that. I didn't know what I was dealing with at the time. Just a young kid, running around wild, bouncing off walls.
That's quite scary as well, particularly in today's time, because we know obviously people waiting to get diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia and stuff. 4-year waiting list. So you look at the impact and the potential outcomes, it's really scary. So, started drugs around 13, 14.
My mental health had deteriorated. I'd isolate a lot, I'd withdraw. I wouldn't want to be around my friends because I was ashamed because they weren't doing what I was doing.
Sure.
I wouldn't answer my phone. It has a massive impact, doesn't it? You know, I mean, it's the ripple effect it has on the family. You know, at the time, I couldn't see that. It's a selfish, self-centered thing, addiction. It really is. But at the same time, for me, it's like I was medicated. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And at the time when I was in it, I needed that, and that came first.
That's the sad thing, isn't it? If it's like self-medicating and masking.
Very, very sad.
I feel like sometimes you just take it to make yourself feel better, isn't it?
It's like self-medicating, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Take away the pain, and you stop
It's
in
not
a vicious cycle, ain't you? Because it's like, you know what you're doing is wrong. You know you're hurting people along the way. So you're taking more drugs to numb that.
Yeah.
It's this vicious cycle, you know, the mental health's deteriorating, so you're taking more drugs to try and level out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this cycle that you kind of, and for me, I feel towards the end, it was like I didn't know how to get out. I didn't know how to stop. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this to myself? You know, and living this lifestyle that I'm living, but I didn't know how to stop. Well, I didn't,
On reflection, do you think a lot of that was down to the undiagnosed ADHD at the time?
I think it's played a part.
Yeah.
I really do think it's played a part because obviously my schooling, it affected my schooling.
Yeah.
You know, I was always told you were naughty kid. I was always outside the headmaster's office. I was in isolation, and I never really did anything really bad. I was just that kid that kind of, it's not disruptive, but you know, I was always chatting. I was always on the move. You know, you put me in sports, excel. Put me in woodwork, maths, and excel. Sitting in English class, maths class, anything like that. You know, I came across as destructive. So it was like you were out, but that's like and that was kind of drilled into me. And I just got expelled from school at a very young age, thinking I'm dumb, stupid, silly. So my self-worth and self-esteem kind of flattened on the floor already by the time I was 40. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, it's really sad, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was the peers then that I started to hang around with, you know.
Yeah.
And they were in similar situations as myself. And it's just, we just kind of just went running with the lifestyle that we had for the next 20 odd years.
Yeah. What would you say your turning point was?
I was about 36, 37. I just completely had enough. Letting my children down, letting my family down. I'm no good to nobody. I'm no use to anybody.
So how did you step out of that dark and lonely place?
I got a bit. I'd never reached out to drug services, or I never reached out to anyone about it. I was just too proud. I think I thought nobody knew. And I think I reached out to my probation officer and said, "I've had enough. Please help me." And they kind of referred me to a service where I was able to do a bit of voluntary work. You know, and I met somebody that accessed the support group. You know, I was speaking to that chap there. You know, and I was about 5-6 days clean. I knew I was going to relapse. You know, I know that's my experience. I know I was going to relapse, and I said this chap, I said, "How do you go?" And he took me along to a support group, and I haven't looked back since. For me, it's just being able to go somewhere and sit with like-minded people that understand and get me, and I get them. Because, like I said, you know, when I first came round, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was anyone thought the way I thought.
So many of us out there, right?
Yeah, well, that's it.
We've all got wonky thinking.
We have, you know, and I'd never seen anybody recover before. I'd never seen
Yeah.
anybody, I'm clean, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and my life's great. And you're like, whoa, I want some of that.
Gives you hope.
Yeah, definitely. And I went off to university, severe dyslexia and ADHD. I went off to university, I got a degree, and I've travelled, I've done all sorts in recovery. You know, I've got 4 beautiful children, who I love dearly, you know, grandchildren. My son lives with me, which is a privilege. And that wouldn't be possible, you know, if I was still out there with no crazy. You know, my son would probably want to, I don't know where he'd gone. He's with his dad now.
That's beautiful.
But it's just the people that I've met in recovery, I think. You know, some amazing people. I found some true friends, real friends. I got friends from when I was a child down here, you know, who I love dearly, but people I've met in recovery, it's just a different, honestly, a different level of friendship, a deeper level of friendship, you know, where we can truly talk about what's truly going on for us. Because I find, you know, for many, many years, I couldn't talk what was going on. I wasn't able to articulate what was going on.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on. Something was going on. So yeah, it's just a blessing to have these people around me now, and I can talk through stuff.
That's that big one.
Yeah, what an
Yeah, that is
inspiration.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So he can go back to uni and he can achieve all of these things still.
I've seen people do amazing things in recovery.
Yeah.
Amazing things. I've seen these videos.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, wow, you know, and it's we can do anything.
It's a
We
whole
can do
lot.
anything.
It's a whole lot.
Anything is possible.
We're turning a new
Yeah.
point. We have a new term now.
Yeah.
We can do anything. We can do anything.
I've seen it.
Addicts are determined.
Yeah. and
Addicts are determined to
Find
get
addicts.
the teeth into
Yeah.
something.
I find to be quite creative, addicts.
Yeah.
Very creative, you know, and it's transferable skills.
Yeah.
You know. When you're out there in the madness, you're hustling and you're getting your drugs and whatever, them skills are transferable.
Yeah.
You know, and I see guys flourish, they just flourish.
And this is why we're doing what we're doing, isn't it, guys?
Yeah.
This is why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
No, thank you.
You're amazing, man. Great work.
David, do you want to talk to us about your journey and how you ended up using drugs?
Well, I came to England when I was about 3 years of age. Couldn't speak English, come from South America, and I was bullied most of my childhood. I just remember being beaten up every day at primary school, being moved from different schools, and just being bullied. And by the age of 13, my mum got with my stepdad, they're both beautiful, lovely man. And I got introduced to drugs, same as everyone else, cannabis. First thing I did was smoke a bong and pass out. But one thing I did realise is, later on in life, I was an addict from the moment I touched anything. There was something there which changed the way I feel in my mood. So from that day onwards, it was experimental. I used to mess around with bits and pieces. Then, you know, it got on to harder stuff by the age of 15 to about 17, heroin and crack, which were, you know, poor mother and poor stepdad having to put up with that. But then, like I say, later on in life, it gave me it gave me confidence. It made me fit in. The people who bullied me become my friends. I probably ended up being a bully at one point in my life, which I'm, you know, disgusted by my behaviours. It was hard, but it changed the way I felt. It gave me confidence. And for me, drugs and alcohol, we've said this before, kept me alive for a long time, because ADHD, dyslexic as well.
Were you undiagnosed with ADHD
Yes,
as well?
yes. Everyone knows I've got ADHD,
Yeah.
even the doctor. I'm still waiting for the diagnosis.
Yeah.
If you know me, I'm batshit crazy. I am crazy.
He's not.
No, I'm saying. So, like I say,
So we started on the drugs from bullying, sort of not fitting in,
to then
undiagnosed ADHD, and then you said it progressed to harder drugs.
it did.
How long were you using the drugs for, and what was the impact on you and others?
The impact was horrendous for my whole family. I've got a family I love dearly, and I couldn't be close to them because I was that ill. I was riddled with alcoholism, not knowing what I suffered from. I couldn't be a part of anything. I wouldn't go on family holidays. I wouldn't go out with people. It turned me into, isolating. I ended up like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. Strange creature that used to move around in the darkness. Criminal activities yet again. And just, like I say, just wanted to die all the time. So for me, the progression, once it hit, I would say with cocaine mainly, it's a sneaky drug. It crept up on me without me knowing. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night one night. And I just cried. I was like, it's got me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't work out how to get through an hour, never mind a day. And I was also very fortunate that I found the rooms. Leroy, met him later on in recovery, another fellowship, can't say the names even that we have. And it changed my life. It changed my life. It taught me a lot about myself.
So it's unpicking that behaviour and stuff.
Yeah.
What was the turning point though for you to want to get, obviously, work and cure your
I wanted to die daily. I wanted to die. I didn't know how to live life on life's terms. The turning point for me, and we mentioned this earlier, and I do apologise to my mother for this one. I remember using drugs for a very long period, and alcohol and sleep, was trying to pretty much kill myself. I didn't want to be here, but at the same time, I just didn't want to be here. And I tried to not be here, but I do believe in God, and He got a bigger idea for me. Rang my mum at 4:30 driving to West Bromwich, and I was going to kill myself. And I rang her up and just told her I'm going to drive into a wall. I can't cope with life. The harms I cause that woman, which I make amends on a daily basis, I do to all my family, my friends, where they have forgiven me some way, and I accept that, and I do apologise still. But that was a turning point for me, and I went into a fellowship And don't get me wrong, I didn't get it straight away. I can't, I went out on relapse, alcohol, whatever. But in the end, I got grip of it.
Yeah.
And what those 12 steps do, and I'm passionate about this because it saved my life. Saved Leroy's life, saved a lot of lives. And it's been going for over 100 years, I believe, in it, Leroy. Yeah, it's just, you do inventory on yourself, you look at your behaviours, you've got to believe in something bigger than yourself. To me, I thought I was God at one point. I was truly not God. I needed to believe in God or a higher power than myself. And once I've got that higher power and I'm connected, and I have to do things every single day. I get up, and I'm not telling everybody you need to pray, you need to meditate. It might not be for you, you might not be what I am.
That works for you though, right?
Yeah, that's it, like running for you. So we've all got a way of coping. And it's just however it works, it works. But I believe exercise, I believe being spiritually connected to something, your fellows, whatever it is, will help you. So for me, I do certain things every day. I do them at night. I don't miss a day, and I'm well.
That's your discipline right there, man.
It is, because if I miss a day or 2 days, and Leroy knows this, my head goes wonky very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
When you say your head goes wonky, tell us what that feels like.
I think for me, it's my thinking starts to go back to my old way of thinking.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, my behaviour starts to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, I'm upsetting my partner.
Yeah.
I'm picking up resentments on my children, my dog,
Yeah.
my neighbours.
Yeah.
The postman.
I can get angry quicker.
Yeah.
And if that continues, before you know it,
Yeah.
I end up using it because I can't cope with life.
Yeah.
I really struggle.
That must be so hard to manage that, to keep yourself. I've always described mental health as like a tightrope. Everyone slips off it now and again, and it's what you do to get yourself back on that tightrope.
As Tom said, it's discipline.
Yeah.
You won't get anywhere without discipline. If you haven't got discipline, you're going to be poorly for a long time.
Yeah.
You've
You've got to rectify your actions very quickly to get back on that tightrope.
Oh, definitely. It's ritual. I had a mate about rituals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, send stuff to Dave. And that's my rituals, a part of my day. Sets me up
And we talk to each other. We reach out.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm in a fellowship, and I have there's 4 people who I ring up on a daily basis. We check on each other. If it's a newcomer, we check on it. And also, I like this, especially someone who's saying it's like I'm on when my thinking's not correct, it's wonky. I'm like a fire. Now, if I ring somebody up and they're going to tell me what I want to hear, you might as well put petrol on me. I'm going to explode. I'll ring up Leroy and they'll go, Dave, you've been a twat. You know what I mean? Simple as. And I've got people which are truth tellers, not friends, but truth tellers. And that's what you need in life.
So it's about being open and honesty. Honest. Even though that's hard sometimes.
You can't be half pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not.
No, I think so. That's really important. And friends that are honest and open.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think obviously you guys are show loads of emotional intelligence and insight. So I think obviously that's going to be so valuable to people to help them understand themselves, understand what they can do moving forward, and just have conversations. So
Don't get it wrong. I still have dark days. You
Yeah.
know, my anxiety, my depression still kicks in. Probably a certain period of each month, but I've got the tools to bounce back. I'll never think about drinking or sniffing ever again. I never will do.
Desire's been removed.
Gone, mate. Completely gone.
No, that's amazing.
But if you're out there suffering, there's us. You know what I mean? We were suffering. We might be as bad as you. We might be worse than you. But there's, if we can do it, anyone can do it. 100%.
Totally agree.
Just stop isolating, or keep going on about this isolation, because I did it for years. It made me really bloody ill. I mean, with isolation, you don't think it can be like that for anyone else. It's the worst feeling inside, isn't it?
Being around people but feeling alone.
Yeah. Oh, I felt alone most of my life, if I'm honest. Since I think lockdown was the one that done me. For lockdown finished me off.
That finished me, because my house was full of about 30 people a day for the whole duration, man. It was madness, lockdown was for me.
Yeah,
terrible.
It done a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I think it's done a lot of damage to a lot of people, hasn't it? I mean, see the increase in alcohol use and stuff as well after lockdown. Yeah. So I think that's why we want everyone to come and join us at our boot camps.
So there is boot camps. Sorry, there are boot camps coming up. We will let you know on Facebook and Instagram. Tom will be running them.
He's our events manager.
The events manager. the brains behind the outfit. I don't know what I am. Leroy's the
He's the
chairman.
chair. He's the
Vice chair. But yeah, come and join us. Come and join us. Get fit, get healthy. Like I said, we're not going to ram any step work down you trying to tell you how to live your lives. But what we could show you is a different way of living and just communicating and talking.
Yeah, we've got meditation, haven't we?
Oh.
Group therapy and chat after.
Just a lot of positivity.
Lots
man.
of signposting and
Love.
support.
Yeah, we'll surround you in love. You might not love yourself, but we'll love you until you can.
Give you advice and guidance where needed.
Certainly.
Thank you.
That's it. I think that was wicked. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
We should do movements.